What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis, including inflation, gas prices, money, everything going on here on a daily basis. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. I will keep you up to date here, and it's completely free to subscribe. In this video, we're going to talk about people are buying less stuff as inflation rages on. And it's a terrible sign for Democrats' chances in the midterm elections, which is now only a few months away. And I'll let you hear from the Republican point of view and President Biden here in just a few moments. But as you can see here, according to Business Insider and Goldman Sachs, this measure is the strongest predictor of midterm results, according to Goldman Sachs. And that's a bad sign for Democrats who already face an uphill battle to keep control of Congress. Well, according to Goldman Sachs, well, let me know your thoughts here on this in the comments. Real disposable income, what people can spend after taxes and inflation, has steeply declined. We have seen the first hints of inflation cool down, just maybe a little bit, but it's likely arriving too late to save Democrats' election hopes. Well, I mean, we'll see here. But data published here Thursday shows signs of surging prices continuing to eat away at Americans' finances. Real disposable income per capita, which tracks what people can spend after adjusting for inflation and taxes, slid through May to $45,490, according to the Bureau of Economic Analysis. The drop extends the steep decline that started early last year and brings the measure further below the 2021 peak of $57,597. So we're down all the way from 57,500 basically to 45,500. That is a significant decline. And this drop shows why, based on recent studies and surveys, that anywhere from 58 to 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck or behind on bills or living completely in debt. And with inflation at 40-year highs and gas prices at all-time highs, food prices at all-time highs, it is just a complete bear, a complete struggle for almost 2/3 of Americans. Yeah. And then you think about the child tax credits have not been passed this entire year, which has sent millions of children back into poverty. And yeah, Social Security, the raise that people got on the COLA raise was 5.9%, which at the time seemed pretty good. It was the largest raise in 30 years. But now with inflation at 8.6%, it's not even keeping up with inflation for the time being. So, yeah, inflation is just, right for the time being, just eating away at everybody. Yeah, and gas prices just insane. Food prices just insane. Well, here's the Republican point of view on this, and you'll also hear from President Biden on this. And yeah, let me know your thoughts here on this. Check this out.
Joining us now, Ranking Member of House Budget, Congressman Jason Smith. Congressman, okay, your reaction to what Edward Lawrence is just reporting. He's going to ask for more oil production out of the Gulf states, but he's not going to ask Saudi Arabia. Why is he going there?
I'll tell you, this administration, like what the reporter was just saying, trying to blame inflation and the increase in gas prices on Putin's invasion. Let me tell you, Liz, before Putin ever moved any military towards an invasion, Inflation was up 7.5% in the United States, and gas prices were up 75% since Joe Biden took the oath of office. It's hogwash for people to allow this administration to try to blame it on Putin and Ukraine when, in fact, it's their policies that's created the disaster with energy and with inflation.
You know, the Supreme Court ruling that the EPA overreached, that it cannot adopt on its own this sweeping regulatory scheme started under the Obama White House to push the U.S. power grid away from fossil fuels toward wind energy and solar energy. But Congressman, the Biden White House is still pushing the Biden climate agenda through the Clean Air Act. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, he's in a new and major fight. Biden's EPA wants to crack down on the nation's biggest oil field, the Permian Basin in Texas, claiming it's violating ozone pollution standards. That's a quarter of America's gas supply and 40% of our oil.
This administration's war on U.S. energy is exactly what's driving up the prices for every American whenever they pull into the gas pump. The fact that they're now trying to wage a regulatory war on an area in the United States that produces 40% of our gasoline is unacceptable. Apparently, this administration would rather be reliant on Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, or other countries rather than our own U.S. oil supply. It's unacceptable. He should travel less than 1,000 miles to Midland, Texas, rather than going to Saudi Arabia when you're talking about producing more oil.
And, you know, Congressman, the Permian Basin is one of the nation's biggest employers. Nearly 100,000 workers there, plus it supports thousands of workers in towns near it. Let's watch climate advisor Gina McCarthy brag about the fossil fuel sector losing jobs under President Biden. Watch.
We just had a recent report that was put out that's showing all of the energy and the employment stats from last year. Clean energy is winning. Fossil fuels losing jobs.
What do you say?
Liz, this administration and everyone who works for him is completely out of touch with reality. But you know what? They're doing exactly what they campaigned on. Joe Biden, when he was campaigning for president, he said, look into my eyes. I guarantee you, I will eliminate fossil fuels. That's what he said when he was running for office, and that's in fact what his administration's trying to do. Their belief is increase gas so then everyone can drive an electric car. But guess what? Buying a $60,000 electric car in southeast Missouri isn't quite easy whenever people's median income household is $40,000 for a family of four. They're out of touch with real Americans.
And Congressman, Russia's Vladimir Putin is probably applauding this today. The president said over in Europe today that we will all have to pay for high gas as long as it takes in order to defeat Russia. You know, Putin wants high oil to pay for his war in Ukraine. This is Biden's price hike, not Putin's. Let's take a listen. Watch.
I can understand why the American people are frustrated because of inflation. But inflation is higher in almost every other country. Prices at the pump are higher in almost every other country. We're better positioned to deal with this than anyone, but we have a way to go. Ultimately, the reason why gas prices are up is because of Russia. Russia.
How long is it fair to expect American drivers and drivers around the world to pay that premium for this war?
As long as it takes, so Russia cannot, in fact, defeat Ukraine and move beyond Ukraine.
Russia's in it for the long haul, as long as it takes. Are we heading to like $10 a gallon?
If the administration has their way, Joe Biden would make sure you're paying $10 a gallon. These folks are completely out of touch, like I said, with everyday American. They want to raise the cost of energy. They want to raise the price per gallon. Their goal is to eliminate fossil fuels. Liz, as I said earlier, inflation was up 7.5% before Putin ever invaded Ukraine. Gas prices were up 75% before Putin invaded Ukraine. And it's because of the policies by executive order of Joe Biden and his administration. And this is what they want. And now they're trying to blame Putin. It's crazy.
Yeah, so some harsh words from the Republicans. You can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. If you've been watching my show, you do know that gas prices in most of the world is actually higher than the U.S. Almost all of Europe has higher prices here. Just just so you're, in the knowledge, just so you have that. Um, so, most of Europe has gas prices in US dollars and US gallons, anywhere from 7, 8, $9 range. Hong Kong has US dollar, US gallon gas at $10. So, of course, you have to, equate it. So, inflation is pretty much everywhere. But a lot of people are blaming Biden. You can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's you can let me know in the comments. It's the problem here is that this does not seem to be going away. It seems like it's going to be going on here for a while. The war in Russia or the war in Ukraine with Russia seems like that's going to be going on here for a while as well. And the longer that goes on, it does help exacerbate it as well. That is putting pressure on oil prices and gas prices and food prices as well. That is definitely. I definitely don't think it's 100% of the reason why. Biden says that the reason is Russia, 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 Russia. I'm not sure if I buy that. I don't think it's 100% of the reason. You can let me know your thoughts on that. But I think a lot of people, most people, think it's definitely part of the reason. I think that's reasonable to think. Um, I mean, they're blockading grain and food exporting to most of the world, which is raising food prices and gas prices, and the oil not being shipped. The U.S. is not buying Russian oil anymore. The EU, the European Union, says that they're weaning off. Multiple different countries are not buying Russian oil anymore, and that is causing shortages all around the world, and that has basically risen the price of oil and gas here dramatically around the world. So there is a major kind of issue there. And the longer the war goes on, that will create problems in food prices, gas prices, and inflation for the whole world, because of those issues. And you can see here, your money, 4th of July parties will cost more this year, but you can save with a little bit of math. Even if you're not having a 4th of July party, basically food and everything is costing more this year. This is just the cost of pretty much everything going on here right now. Yeah, you could see here 4th of July food costing more this year since last year. Typical example here, based on last year, the cost of pork is up 3.1% since last year, wine up 5.8% since last year, ice cream up 6% since last year, hot dogs up 6.3% since last year, produce up 7% since last year, shrimp up 8.2% since last year, buns up 10% since last year, ground beef up 11.8% since last year, soda, or as some people would say, soda pop, up 13% since last year. Let me know if you call it pop. Yeah, because we up north we call it pop in some areas. Up 13%. Chicken breasts, chicken up 24% since last year. Beer up 25% since last year. Wings up 38% since last year. Yeah, so you can see here, it's not just gas. In fact, food prices are at an all-time high around the world. Yeah, you can see some of these are up dramatically, right? Yeah, and this is kind of, again, one of the other issues here affecting Americans. And going forward, this is this is going to continue to affect Americans, and gas prices go along with this. Diesel prices, even if you don't buy a drop of diesel ever in your lifetime or this month or next month, this will affect food prices. Okay, the longer diesel, if you look at diesel prices here, they're around $1 or more than $1 than gasoline, and this is helping the cost, or hurting the cost, maybe I should say, of food prices, because pretty much everything is delivered to a store or grocery store, Walmart, wherever, right? Of It has to be delivered via semi truck or refrigerated truck, whatever, right? All that stuff is pretty much via a semi truck, refrigerated truck, whatever. Almost all of them use diesel. And when you see diesel at $6 a gallon or more than $6 a gallon, um, they're building in a fuel surcharge or fuel prices. Okay, so if they're charging, and who knows, you're hundreds of dollars for deliveries. Now they're charging hundreds of dollars plus 10% or 20% or 30%, right? So you just gotta and average that in for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, thousands of truckloads across the country. That is part of the reason you're seeing food go up, you know? And I mean, really, it's just everything is affected right now. Inflation everywhere is affected. Food costs are at an all-time high all around the world. Yeah, it's just it's tough, so but let me know what you're doing here, 4th of July. We're just having some friends and not even really friends, we're just having some family over here for tomorrow. We'll be playing a little bit of cornhole. We're gonna be cooking out on the grill. I think we're having some shish kebabs, if you know what shish kebabs are. I don't know, if is shish kebabs a universal term in the US, or is that just like a regional? It's just
In like Middle Eastern food, which means food on a stick.
Is shish kebabs like universal?
I don't know about shit.
Because I was just showing an article and it said like soda,
Oh yeah.
and I know because I know when we travel, we say pop up here in the north, and I know if you go
And pop is a Midwestern thing.
a Midwestern thing, yeah, I know if you say pop somewhere else, people look at you like, what are you talking about? Yeah, soda pop. Yeah, I guess up here in the Midwest, some people just say pop. And if you say that somewhere else in another part of the country, they'll look at you like you're like you're crazy. But yeah, so I guess here in the Midwest, some of us have just said pop. We've shortened it from soda pop. But yeah, I guess some of us here in the Midwest are a little bit out there with our slang, right? But each region kind of has their own thing, right? But yeah, do you say shish kebabs there where you live? But yeah, I think we're cooking some shish kebabs tomorrow, chicken and steak with vegetables. We just got them from the store, right? You know, Pretty easy, right? So yeah, let me know what you're doing. We're gonna be playing some cornhole. Do you play cornhole? Do you know what cornhole is? Yeah, basically it's like a bean bag into a hole. It's kind of like I guess it's similar to horseshoes, but with a bean bag. It's pretty fun. Easier than setting up horseshoes and having a sand pit and stuff like that. And we actually got a little one for my son Julian. But yeah, we'll have some special guests for you guys tomorrow with our episodes as well. So make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, make sure to subscribe or click the bell icon after you subscribe so you get notifications when we go live. I will keep you up to date here as well. You can click here to see my newest stimulus check video as well. And you can click here to see, I had a lot of good comments or interesting comments on this, on what Nancy Pelosi just did. That was an interesting video. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.